All right, listen, jury selection went well. So, looks good for the guys.
That will be enough for me just to have this over by the time Simone gets back. At least we'll know what we're up against.
But look, I just want you to concentrate, sitting there and acting like the brilliant doctor that you are, okay?
Scott, I know how you feel about this. I mean, that's a good reason why I should testify.
All I want to do is let the jury get a look at Arnold's disgusting personality. Now, you've blown your cool twice with him. There's no way that I'm going to take the chance of you doing it a third time in front of our jury. And that's final.
Tom. No, Scotty.
Son, I just want you to know that...
I know, Dad. Thank you very much.
Dad, well, you must be Grandpa Lincoln.
Not you again.
Hey, I hope the missus can support you, because after today, you ain't going to be a doctor anymore.
Hey, get a hold of your client.
Hey,
Come on, have a seat.
Don't let the natural rhythms fool you here. They get pregnant easy anyway.
Please,
Tom,
Dean,
wait a
sit
minute.
down.
It's not with him.
Tom, wait. Let him get on the stand. Hang himself.
Come on, Scott, I want to testify.
Absolutely not.
All rise. Hear ye, hear ye. All men or persons having any business to do with this term of the county court. Honorable Judge Cluton Palmer presiding.
I thought you'd be interested in...
Cheryl Stansbury is not only a financial genius, she is a magician. Look at these figures. According to these numbers, I've made 407...
It's tasteless to shout out figures that large.
Come to think of it, your profits are... I could have made millions on this deal if I had invested as heavily as you did, but you talked me out of it.
Look, I took the same advice I gave you. I invested just as much as I had to invest. I had more to lose than you have, so I invested more.
But look what the Stansbury Fund is doing. I mean, this is incredible growth.
Well, you made a handsome profit off of it.
That's absolutely right, and I would have to be absolutely crazy if I didn't put more capital into it right now.
Well, it's never too wise to put all your eggs in one risky basket.
This financial statement does not look like a risky basket to me.
Well, nevertheless, it's wise to be prudent.
Why is it I get the impression that you know something that you're not telling me?
Well, I know lots of things that I don't tell anybody. But I advise you to take my advice. Let the foolish ones be greedy. It makes it easier to get their money that way. Oh, dear. I'm not going to be able to make that trial. You go, will you? I'm very anxious to know what happens to that boy. Now, you go and you tell me when I get home.
Therefore, we hope to prove that Dr. Hardy was completely justified in his attitude towards Mr. Arnold.
I believe we're now ready to take testimony in this case. Mr. Lombardi, you ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Baldwin?
Yes, Your Honor.
In that event, let's hear our first witness.
The prosecution calls Dr. Patrick O'Connor.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated.
Dr. O'Connor, were you present on either of the occasions when Mr. Arnold was attacked by Dr. Hardy?
Objection! Whether or not attack occurred is for the jury to decide.
Sustained.
Thank you. You were there on both occasions?
No, I was only there for the first one. I showed up right after Mr. Arnold started insulting Tom and Simone.
You're only to testify about what you actually witnessed, Doctor. Is that clear? Now then, at the time of the attack that
Your
you
Honor.
witnessed... excuse me. At the incident that you witnessed, did Mr. Arnold physically threaten Dr. Hardy?
Well, no, but
And
that wasn't the situation.
at this incident, did Mr. Arnold push or shove or in any way initially physically touch Dr. Hardy?
No, not initially, but...
Would you answer the question, please, sir? I realize this is difficult, since Dr. Hardy is a colleague and a close personal friend. But answer the question, please. Did Mr. Arnold, in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, initially physically threaten Dr. Hardy?
No, not initially. However, that...
Did he or didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
You know, I can't thank you enough for...
Dr. Hardy.
No, not initially, but...
Would you answer the question, please, sir? I realize this is difficult. Since Dr. Hardy is a colleague and a close personal friend, but answer the question, please. Did Mr. Arnold, in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, initially physically threaten Dr. Hardy?
No, not initially. However, that...
Did he or didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
You know, I can't thank you enough for how wonderful you were to rescue me with that little boy.
Well, actually, if I might make a suggestion or two, you could...
Do you know, I can't imagine ever having a normal conversation with you without having to drop you in a cold shower.
You know, I think that's the only fantasy I haven't had concerning you. I'll have to think about it, of course.
Well, you were wonderful because that little kid was crying so much. I thought it was more than a skinned knee, and you did great.
Well, thank you.
Where on earth did you get those little tiny bandages with all those stars and moons all over them?
It's my private supply. How would you like to smother my body with Band-Aids and then peel them off one by one real slow?
Oh, Walter,
Well,
come
no, in a
on.
cold shower, if you insist.
All right, what would you do if some woman ever took you up on all of this?
Oh, well, I'd take her like this, maybe swing around ever so slightly. So romantically. And then hold her.
Oh, wait, you're telling me this actually works for you? It's so corny.
Well, come on, trust me, it gets better, all right? Close your eyes, come on, try it. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Wet your lips.
No.
All right. You see, you just can't jump into the main course. You have to eat the appetizers first. See? Look, let me take a look at you. All right.
Very pretty.
Okay, so what's next, Valentino?
General Hospital will continue in a moment.
It's not what you think.
What do I think?
Wait a minute, Tony, don't you care? I mean, if it was what you could have thought it was, wouldn't you care? I mean, I would care. I would scream and yell and kick and fight. I would care about something like this.
I care.
Well, then why aren't you angry?
Because I know Walt. He's not your type.
Well, you know, Walt happens to find me very, very attractive. What about you, sailor?
I think you're the most beautiful woman I've ever met.
Well, then prove it.
What do you think about Walt's vacuous lifestyle?
I don't know. I mean, he's got this posh sports car and wine, women, and song every night. I don't know. Poor baby, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Except it's not funny. There is more to a relationship than sex, and sex does not make up for differences, deep, deep differences.
Differences? Tony, I am trying to devote my life to doing what's best for you. I don't understand how that can be driving us apart.
Excuse me. Are you busy?
No, I've always got time for an old friend.
Always.
You look like you got a lot of problems. How about we have a cup of coffee and talk them over?
I don't think a cup of coffee will do it. I thought perhaps we could take a walk in the park and I could kind of get some of the stuff off my chest.
I wish I could.
Were you busy with the hospital?
No, just a prior commitment.
I can't wait to go to that RV show. Hi, Ruby. You ready to go down?
Well, I need a minute to take care of a couple of things. I'll, call you in the morning, okay, Ruby?
Sure.
Well, I wouldn't expect to hear from him much before noon.
You just keep your trashy hands off of Dad.
Well, you're getting awful possessive of your cast-offs, aren't you? What's the matter? Afraid you could do better?
Better than trash like you.
Nurse Jenny, working Dr. Hodgson in the lab.
Well, no, of course, I didn't witness the provocation for the first fight. It had already started when I got there. But I'm sure that Tom had to have been provoked because...
Oh, all right then, Dr. Quatermain. Let's move on to the fight that started when you were an actual witness. Did Mr. Arnold say anything to Dr. Hardy?
Well, Dr. Hardy had just found out about the loss of his baby.
So your answer is there was no provocation. No provocation whatsoever for the second attack. Is that your answer, Doctor?
Your Honor, he is leading the witness.
Sustained.
Let me put it this way, Your Honor. Dr. Quatermain, did Mr. Arnold push, shove, or in any way physically menace Dr. Hardy?
No.
What exactly did happen?
Well, Mr. Arnold and Dr. Hardy were passing each other in the hall. They bumped into each other, and then they recognized each other from the previous incident.
And then?
Then Dr. Hardy hit Mr. Arnold.
No more questions.
Redirect, Mr. Baldwin?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Dr. Quatermain. Mr. Lombardi, may we have your next witness?
The prosecution calls Dean Arnold.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand.
Watch the bigot hang himself.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Sir, would you please describe for the jury the first altercation between yourself and Dr. Hardy?
Actually, I'd like to apologize to him first and to his lovely wife. I was in a lot of pain and I was worried about my medical condition. I'm not a professional man like he is, and I believe that I was getting a royal runaround at the hospital. I sort of took it out on the first doctors that I came across, which happened to be Dr. Hardy and his wife. I was dead wrong with what I said. That's why I didn't go to the law after that first fight.
Let me testify. What brought on the second fight?
Well, when I first saw him in the hallway, I was going to start to apologize to him for being rude that first time. And he didn't give me a chance for that. Blammo, I mean, he was all over me, just like that.
You neither said nor did anything to provoke Dr. Hardy.
No, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit an affidavit now from the floor nurse who was on duty at the time.
Very well, let me see it.
Scott, put me on a stand.
No, I'm not going to let you get up there and crucify yourself.
I'm going on that stand and testify, even if I have to get another lawyer to do it.
I see.